Hello and welcome, beloveds, to the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? Reporting from a very cold Nairobi, and whew, yeah, it's just our cold season. I really do pray that you are well wherever you are, whatever you're getting up to, and that you're using this time really wisely, maximizing your time, maximizing your brain power, maximizing your spiritual power, tapping into that. We are really going to we will get into that, spiritually, how to really come online and move in power and in truth. We're going to get into that. But we are also, just like we've been telling you, we are also in the process of moving off grid. So we're so grateful for all the people who have invited us to do online interviews and be on online panels. We appreciate, love you so much. We're just not in a position, even mentally, to do that right now. I think what needs to be said has been said. And now it's time for people to move into action. We just continue to share the stories of what's happening in Africa so that you, and to the global Black family, so that you can tie this into the plans you're making and the moves you're making. But remember, stay out of the global matrix as much as possible, especially the global news matrix, because they are trying to literally initiate you into a new world order through fear, through programming your mind. And it's just so crazy how, here in Kenya, every day, I think it's happening everywhere. The Minister of Health reports every day. And so there's those people who haven't got much to do, especially the older generation. So every day they're hearing 10 cases, 100 cases, 5 cases. It's just such a psyop. It's sick. But anyway, those are stories for other days now. I've been telling you guys about the Ethiopia-Egypt war. It actually is a war. It was a war of words, but now Ethiopia has come out and blamed Egypt over the unrest that has happened recently. And, we saw crazy kind of protests and riots taking place in Ethiopia. I did report on it about a week and a half ago when a famous musician from the Oromo community, which is the biggest nation, Oromo nation. We should stop calling them tribes. We should call them their rightful names, nations. Africa is not just one uniform, situation. There were so many different nations, and that's why, because that's why we're not homogeneous. And that's why there's been such a struggle of us uniting, because it's like, we had thousands of kingdoms and thousands of nations. Something I definitely have to get into in the future. But what happened is that the government actually said that it's actually Ethiopia's water, irrigation, and energy minister. He came out and he pointed an accusing finger at Egypt over the recent unrest following the death of popular singer Hachalu Hundessa. And what he was actually saying is, he said that they suspected that Egypt had actually sent mercenaries into the country and triggered and kind of promoted unrest, which is why Ethiopia shut down the internet for a week. And the government says, the neighboring country's motive was to stop Ethiopia from continuing the Grand Renaissance Dam project, which is said to be Africa's largest project, and it's going to switch the dynamics in Africa forever. Because a recent report just came out which said that Egypt is according to the international statistics, which can't be relied on either, they have announced that Egypt is the most powerful country in Africa. But with the construction of this dam, the power dynamics will definitely shift, and Egypt is trying to hold on to its most powerful country in Africa role, because the Grand Renaissance Dam is going to be such a game changer, not only for Ethiopia, but for sub-Saharan Africa. It is going to be a massive game changer. And, even prophetically speaking, there's a lot that's just going to be happening about, anyway, I'll get into that in another day, about the controlling the rivers and how the power of who controls the rivers, kind of determines how much power you have in controlling the nations. And that's why Egypt really doesn't want, the Nile to be tampered with. Stories for other days. Let me not get into it. People, I may lose you. Sorry if I've lost you, if that message wasn't for you. Construction of the mega dam has been completed. Actually, Ethiopia had actually said that they were going to start filling it this rainy season. We are currently in the rainy season. But the government, so there were major talks going on at the United Nations, and that was when the unrest happened, and so they believe Egypt did it, and this is how mercenary politics. Remember, I keep saying Confessions of an Economic Hitman? Just read that to know how international espionage and everything, goes on. And they said, the dam is ready for the first round of filling, and regardless of how the negotiations go, they're going to do it. But you see how deadly, if these allegations are true, although, the Ethiopian government has so far not offered any kind of, information or evidence of this. But if this is true, it is such confirmation to the dirty nature of international politics, and it may explain why some of our governments and presidents are unable to get out of the thumb of the neo-colonizer, because if they don't play ball, their country is destabilized or they get taken out. But really happy to see how Ethiopia is taking such a strong stance. We fully stand behind them, and that dam is going to get filled. Tuko pamoja. Tuko pamoja.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, Africa.
Hello and welcome to Africa Watch on the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I pray you're well in all your ways and that you're just living your best life. So many exciting things happening on the continent that we're so happy to share with you. And a couple of weeks ago, I reported about beef between Somalia and Kenya. And it was quite shocking because there was a London investment expo that was being hosted by Somalia, where they allegedly actually displayed some oil fields in the ocean, by the way, in the Indian Ocean, that are owned by Kenya as being possibly up for sale. So Kenya caught a lot of feelings and withdrew the ambassador. But at the same time, this land was being disputed and was at the International Criminal Court or International Court of Justice. I think that's where it was, ICJ, and it was being decided. And a lot of people said that Kenya. This is what the Somali brothers and sisters were saying, that Kenya was going to lose a lot of that ocean land to Somalia because it was Somali territory, and so they were preempting that by throwing a fit so that they could have a negotiation, because apparently they tried to appeal the decision of the International Court of Justice, but the International Court of Justice had said the decision was final. But anyway, so the beef was it was getting heightened, We sent the Somali, here in Kenya, we sent the Somali ambassador back. We recalled our own guy. There was drama. All kinds of accusations were being thrown out. And then our foreign minister, Monica Juma, I love the lady, she came out and said, people are thinking this is a small thing, but it's a big thing. And so things were just increasing. But guess what? Someone has come to the rescue. And it's none other than Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. I love this guy. He's like the youngest member of the African President's Union, if you want to look at it like that, and Prime Minister's Union. He's the youngest African leader, long story short. And it shows that he has a very level head. And a lot of people have said that he is actually a shrewd politician and very gifted in politics. And we're starting to see that. So what he did is, all of a sudden, a couple of weeks ago, we saw President Uhuru Kenyatta going to Ethiopia. Now, since it had been so close to the African Union, it was African Union summit, it was like, what is he doing back there? But, he toured a lot of the industrial parks, but blah, blah, blah. But Kumbe, during that tour, Abiy Ahmed was busy like, yo, bro, you got to sort this beef out with Somalia. You got to do your thing with Somalia. What's happening? And it looks like that's the kind of conversation that went on. Although what we saw in front of the cameras, or what the media told us, because sometimes they're slightly clueless, no hate. What they showed us was, Uhuru was made, an elder of, I don't know, the Oromo community or whatever. And they got some traditional outfits, and they talked about African unity, and he talked about how Africa can be strong through coming together while he's fighting Somalia. So, and then he came back and there was nothing. But then now, last week, all of a sudden, the president of Somalia, Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajoin, I think, Farmajo. Oops. Anyway, I think I've totally butchered his name. Anyway, the president of Somalia, he actually we saw him going to Ethiopia under the invitation of Abiy Ahmed. They had a conversation. Then the following day, which was a Wednesday, they hopped on a plane and came to Kenya. Yeah, Abiy Ahmed showed up. Somali president in tow, went to the State House here in Nairobi. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bam. They talked, they bonded, they communicated. Next thing, we have a peace deal.